Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Leonard. Hi. Well, thank you all for coming. Tonight is the last talk and show of this iWEEK. So the last, well, I hope not the last, but another inspirational moment to take on with you for the rest of the workshops, for the last day. And we've invited a partner in a new project. Maybe you've heard of Renewable Futures, a project developed by Rick C. And there are about 6 partners in this project. Liepāja University Art Research Lab is one of them. And another organization is Ars Longa in France. And Vincent is representing them. Just to let you know what we are doing in this project, we are developing a conceptual framework for a Fab Lab in Liepāja. And I can imagine that Ars Longa and Vincent will be a wonderful partner and help for us in developing it. Thank you and welcome, Vincent. Woo.
Thank you for the invitation. Okay, my name is Vincent. I come from Paris, exactly in the north of Paris, a little town called Pantin. And so I'm director of an organization called Ars Longa, but we develop 2 other projects, and I'm going to talk about the last one called Les Arts Codés. Les Arts Codés, this is a joke with words, because my background is media arts. For 10 years, I produce and develop projects with artists, and 5 years ago, I decided to work on this border of design, arts, and these famous creative industries and cities, and try to understand. So we developed kind of Fab Lab in 2009, and after we tried to develop kind of cooperative. Les Arts Codés, so it's a joke with the word Les Arts Déco, this movement in France at the start of the 20s, and codé, it's a code, it's programming. So the place we are setting up, we start in February, but we are going to have a big opening in February 2016. 2016, and so the place, this is a factory, and we are 5 company, NGO, startup, learning organizations, and we're working on this intuition, this idea that we need to propose a place to help craftsmen to develop new skills. So the idea is to find the good combination between digital fabrication, coding, and many traditional work like ceramic, wood, glass. So yes, I talk about tools of conviviality. In 1973, Ivan Illich, a sociologue, philosopher, maybe you know him, wrote a book, Tools of Conviviality. And Tools of Conviviality, for him, he distinguished tools according to their degrees of usability, of conviviality. For him, there are 2 kinds of tools. The non-user-friendly tools tends to dominate and shape the main, and the user-friendly tools is controlled by man to allow him to build the world according to his intentions, imagination, and creativity. Of course, we're working on this idea. Today, question is it convivial or not? I don't know. The question is, when you want to transform and to work on the metamorphose of the work, you have to, in a digital world where everything daily, your tools measure, automatize, calculate everything in society and in your intimacy. We have to work on this idea of if it's possible to have a place to resist to this global digitalization, even if we all come from parametric design and coding and programming. Though the idea with this project is to say, if we start with this this idea of Evan Illich, who are the tools of conviviality, we try to work on few topics. The first one was workspace, communities, and territories. How to work on this idea of maybe this one. Okay. So, yes, first tools, workspace, communities, territories. Yes, each workplace is defined with regards to its territories and of implementation, and the men and women who drive it. In varied ecological niches, in a dissuaded warehouse, in a non-profit organization within the university, a center of training or cultural institution, they build more or less close links with stakeholders of the local area on more or less in-dense connection to national and international networks. These links are both resources and constraints that contribute and define the identity of each place, which is, say, the meaning that they carry for those that frequent the space, and also the messages that they radiate. What we want to say that is we need to invent places who are able to connect with a territory and imagine tools who are able to connect with all those people. So I'm gonna show you maybe a picture, a little video along this project we did 2 years ago. Maybe you know him. The artist or AA, H-A-H-A, and then the project is Metronome. So we develop autonomous vehicle with electricity for the ring around Paris. There are railway around Paris, and we propose to organization to use it for playing, but for carrying something, they want to carry something. And this is one of the tools for me with an example of what could be a convivial project. Other one. So maybe this, imagine alternative form of organization of on collective action. This is a second topic we are working on. So yes, Fab Labs, hackerspace or makerspace, or open or semi-open spaces, which invent the modes of organization and collective decision making on daily basis. How to live together, how to survive economically, make democratic decisions, decides collegially with 10, 20, 1,000 members, maintain both activist and productive activities, how to keep the project alive, build commons goods and stabilize a viable economic model, all in the same space and with community on multiple scales. Of course, non-organization models and techniques of liquid democracy, both reference to the commons good economy, are being defined and debated throughout the network community. In practice, a variety of alternative forms of organization and collective actions are under experimentations, more or less successfully. So yes, this second topic for us is very important because we think that organizations is maybe one of them, for when you are setting up a place, is maybe one of the most important things to think at the start of this project. So, of course, I have no example of with video of artists working on this topic. I'm going to present the third one: collective factories and experimental practice. So, in our place, we have many projects who are kind of experiences. So, for example, on the bottom on the left, you have vases. How to make vases with voice. So while codings, we have an algorithm. When you come from the computer, you just have to say yes, mama, or I don't know, happy birthday, and it's gonna make a vases. And so we try to imagine that now. People don't want just a produce, but they want the experience of this produce, this project. So this experience, just here. This is the same thing with the name of the project is Skillite. How to upcycling whole furnitures, and maybe I have a few things to show you. So concerning experimental practice, this project called MagLab. Where are you, MagLab? Well, it was I thought I had. So it is a little, it's a little cab. So, yeah, it was MagLab Mobile. Sorry. Yeah, so it was an experience. In 2012, we imagine a mobile workshop in town. So we developed a tools, a CNC router, a little cab, and so we propose people to make their faces, or to make a parametric frisbee. And of course, yeah. And it's one and another example of the kind of tools we try to develop to explore this idea of conviviality. Okay. Okay. So we talk about imagine alternative form of organization and collective actions. Talk about practice, experimental practice. A last thing I would like to talk about is the work, metamorphosis of work. The maker movement is rich both in terms of the new expectation in relation to labor, but also for the real experiences that empowered manual work as an original way to produce, innovate, collaborate, design. What are the original practices? It is really a new way of making. Is it replicable elsewhere? Producing object in a hacker fab lab spirit. Is it work, really? Is technology an asset or not for inventing new working practices? Should we maintain an enchanted relationship with all the new forms of making, or there's some limits, new form of division of labor, social exclusion, that we should be facing up to? So this is one of the big, maybe one of the big issue for us working on the work. We know that there are a big metamorphosis of work, especially in cognitive economy, and I don't know what does it work in Latvia or in Baltic countries, but in France there's a new the creative industry and all things turning around the creative economy transform the statue of the artist on the creator, and we try to help the artists, creators, and craftsmen to develop new skills, as I told you at the start of the lecture. And to help them, we need times and we need space to develop this relation between classic skills and new skills with digital fabrication. So maybe I don't know if I'm going to show you maybe other projects we developed. Maybe this one talk about territories and communities as well. We produced it in 2008 with Lumila. Lumila, it's a lab in Slovenia, and the name of this project is FreeDAV, Free Ride Data Acquisition Vehicle, and this is a kind of a box you put on your bicycle, and when you have a ride, you can record data, many data, pictures, sounds, and CO2 on azote as well.
Casing for all the electronic components. So there is 1 million parameters that have to be taken care of.
People told me that, Anna told me that mostly of you are from art school, Midi's art school. That's why I tried to present you those kind of projects we worked on a few years ago, even if it's not the core of our project in Les Arcodés. But we always work with artists, because our skills in Les Arcodés is also electronic stuff, and
lots of cables. Control panel will be mounted like this under a glass, I mean plexiglass top. And here will come the sensor
So
part
yes.
of the circuit, which is now here, and this power part comes here.
What we have here is a display of
So we added
recent vehicles.
we had a platform,
We have full
and
internet
you can
access and all the files
check
uploaded to the server.
every data from every boxes. I don't know, someone know this project? No? Have you know? Okay.
Hey, you're recorded. Frida does record you.
Circus guy.
Okay. Maybe to, I don't know, because I prepare many things. I could show you many more projects talking about like this links between a territory, a place to develop projects. Maybe I could conclude to say that if we want to win the bet of creativity and diversity in a digital world, we need, I think, three things is to resist, to be all the time critical with electronic stuff on all digital tools, learning and sharing everything all the time. It's very difficult because we are programming, we are using tools, and all the time we say that be careful. Let's try to develop the most thing we can to be to develop our singularity, and it's very difficult because as I told you, the core of electronic and digital software and hardware used to all the time organize things to model things to be to have the same shape. I don't know if it's clear, and so it's very important when you are an artist, a creator, to consider the code. We are considering the code like a wood, ceramic, glass, and all the stuff, and we need to practice the code on the yes, we need to practice the code all the time, even if it's not so easy. Okay, maybe I could show you another last this one. I like this one. Maybe you know them. Of course, resisting is close from hacking on. So the idea is to play with CC camera. The idea is to hack camera and
I've hijacked your surveillance camera. I'm the one with the yellow suitcase. How about a game of chess? You are white. I am black. Black. Call me or text me to make your move. This is my phone number, 075824608851.
Okay. Do you know those artists? Mediagruppen, you know them? They did something very, it was maybe 2009 or 2010. They hired many microphones on the opera, and they developed a little program to call in random people in Stuttgart. It was in Stuttgart, and people saw when they hold the telephone, they heard about the opera and don't know why they are hearing the opera, and it was a fantastic project.
Play chess with me.
And of course they are making all electronic stuff.
Come on.
And okay. So I tried to talk about a little bit about the place we are. So our place, Les Arcodés, this place. Maybe one of you will come to visit us, I hope. As I told you, we work on this links between digital fabrication and craft, glass, wood, ceramic, and also in 3D printing, and with electronic stuff as well. And we also develop a project in the public space, as you can see. And topics, we are not only work on and produce, but also on those 4 ideas. Collective factories, metamorphosis of work, new kind of communities, and new way of organizations. Donc, imagine alternative forms on organization on collective action. Thank you.
No. Well, oh, sorry. Yes.
With this chat project, you got any answer? With the chat project?
No, this is the only one. I wanted to show you this one because it's for me one of the media group, and it's maybe one of my favorite artists. We for the festival Malopixel, we present this project in Paris in La Gaîté Lyrique. Yes, so.
Yes, it was for my picture because they said this place, this workshop place, is like a combination of all kinds of different workshops. But is it also just a public?
Yes, yeah. The idea is we could talk about open creative microfactory. So we are open at the end of the week from Friday to Sunday the public, and we have scenario for a large audience, a large public, because we have big tools, big installations, but we do many things. And I came with few things for the workshop tomorrow or Saturday, I don't know, with children's. So I will show you a few things. But during the first part of the week, we have a co-working space, so many students, professionals come to develop their project for a week, for months, for a year. And we also...
You can apply for it?
Yes, of course, yes. But you know, even if the place is, seems very big, we have not so many places because we have many tools, big tools. And for the moment, we have 2 projects we're working on, and we have 4 people who develop their project, so they pay for the place. So you are a co-worker. We are 5 entities, specialization on lights and PCB cards with LEDs, and there are engineers. We have Nouvelle Fabrique working on wood, how to with OpenDesk. Maybe you know OpenDesk. This is a project. It's a platform. We develop and we share a sketch of chair tables, and we are working on this idea of parametric design for a large audience, so people can click. If you have a little factory close from you, where the place you live, you can just download the sketch and have for free, because it's not for business. And if it's for business, of course, we ask people to pay 10%. But I'm not. Yeah, the idea is to start this idea of sharing sketches. And so we have also a big company on 3D printing. Maybe you know that for 3D printing there are 2 options. The first one is the famous little 3D printer you have now. For 5 years ago, for 5 years, we've heard about this kind of 3D printer, you know, with extrudation. It is plastic, ABS or PLA, and you make little things in plastic. And the other option is industrial option, and it's not the same world. And you can print metals, many things, but the price are not the same, technique are not the same. And we have in a company, one of the biggest in France, say we work for big company, for army, for cars, for now, and we want to develop something else. So we're gonna put 2 big 3D printer in your factory to test and to develop something with consumers, customers, and people who want to try something. So it's we are very lucky with them. And there's a school of glass called the CERFAV, and so this is the organization who have the most tools in the factory. And we have a ceramist working with us. And we are all programming and working with electronic stuff. Yes, so Arduino, PCB cards, everything you can. And we have a shared kitchen here. So you have the factory and the house on the left. On the first floor, there is course space and co-working space, and at the bottom there is on the right a little apartment for residencies, and on the left, a shared kitchen. We're working on this with students for 3 months. We're working on this idea of tools of conviviality. So they, it was last Monday. They proposed us few projects to talk about this conviviality in our space. So we can see it's not a box. It is a kind of I don't know. It's like like a box, but there is table, chair, and at the center you can put plants and grow plants. Other project, completely creepy on the top. It's the proposition is to because we have a big separation here, and to talk about this conviviality, the proposition was to make like a totem, and this totem is a seat, just one seat, and when you sit, there is a mechanism, and this mechanism will give you a gift. The gift is a fruit or something. And so this big structure, this big system, just for one seat and one present. And the idea was to create something magic, something strange, to talk about this our place. Many things. Okay.
Thank you for coming. You are all welcome to join us for dinner. Yes, and continue talking about things like Vincent did and others. So, see you downstairs.
Sorry, it was not so easy for me to explain in English all the.
But it was actually, I found it quite interesting.
Yeah, because we work on this idea of tools, and it's not only the tools, and it's all the concept around what is place, how we organize all the teams around this project, and it's difficult to explain in English for me.
Can you show me your web address, because we were late on the.
What do you want?
The URL where I can see.
Yeah, of course. What do you want? This?
No, the URL.
URL. Oh yeah.
Web address.
Yes, it's